There you go. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, it is, in fact, the night before David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. I wanted to do a little quick, 1 hour and a half little live stream. You guys know it's a big fight. I don't know if y'all recognize it, but my boy Alex is back.
Yes, sir, bro.
He came back. He came down. He's gonna be on the live with us tomorrow. Anybody who's watched this channel for a number of years, you guys may remember Alex from way back in the day when he was a kid. He ain't no kid no more. He got the beard, looking Rastafarian now. I hardly recognize him. So, yeah, it's gonna be a really fun live program reminder, just in case you guys haven't heard. I'll say it for the umpteenth time. Tomorrow we will be live for Demetrius Andrade versus David Benavidez. It's going to be a big fight for the sport of boxing, big fight for the middleweight division.
That's right.
And in this particular live, look, guys, I'm going to give you my last thoughts, give you my little breakdown, give you what I think about the card. Y'all are more than welcome to give your thoughts and your breakdown on the card. Please leave comments if you're watching the playback. All that would be greatly appreciated. But it's been a long time coming, this fight, this whole card. I mean, this whole entire card. This whole Andrade Benavidez thing, a lot of boxing fans have been waiting patiently for this. And listen, it's going to be a fun live tomorrow. A lot of great fights. I think, with this being Showtime Boxing's last pay-per-view show, in the Showtime era, they really going out with a bang. Like they stacked this card pretty nice. A lot of intriguing matchups.
Second to last because we still have Morel.
That's pay-per-view though.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Okay.
So. That's what it is. But Alex, before I get to the comments and before I start getting my thoughts, when we get into the fights, you got any initial thoughts on the matchup or anything on the card? No, let the people know, man.
I love this matchup, man. Andrade, I'm happy that he's finally getting a big fight, but he's getting old, man. I feel like Bandera got this, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like Andrade is gonna get too overwhelmed with these like fast combinations. Because like the last time he's fought a big guy was Michael Fox's brother.
Alontes Fox, tall, rangy guy.
And Andrade, he did outbox him or whatever, but he did get dropped by him. He did get hurt by him. So, and he's not as fast as Benavidez or was young or as like skilled. Benavidez, bro, I feel like.
Do you say Andre's not as skilled as Benavidez?
No, I'm talking about Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not.
I'm about to say,
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Nah,
I had to get some verification on that one.
Yeah, I feel like Benavidez has this, bro. It's gonna be a 11th round TKO. I feel like.
Okay, he's going with 11. Okay, he's going with Benavidez. That's a popular pick. A lot of people, they're betting their hard-earned money on a Benavidez late stoppage. I feel like with no feelings, that's probably the safest pick you can make, because you think Andrade's age, he hasn't had a lot of time to adjust to 168. It's only second fight, so listen. I'm with Andrade, all right. I'm with Andrade. That's my guy. I'm gonna stand on everything I've been saying all these years about him.
Yes,
but I do acknowledge that is an uphill battle for Boo Boo, and listen, it's gonna be special. It's gonna be a chance for him to have his I feel like if this fight goes well for Andrade, this could be like his version of Mark Too Sharp Johnson versus Fernando Montiel, because it's kind of the same thing. Mark Too Sharp Johnson was in lower weight classes, a black southpaw. Nobody wanted to fight him. Couldn't get the big fights against Danny Roman or Johnny Tapia or any of those guys of his era. Towards the end of his career, like 33-ish, 34-ish, he got the fight against Fernando Montiel, kind of a younger guy. And they thought Montiel was going to catch him at the right time. They thought Montiel was going to, overwhelm him. And Mark Too Sharp Johnson put him on his ass and then wound up boxing him. So could be that for him. Could be that kind of fight.
And for me, this is one of those fights where, I'm happy with whoever wins, honestly. If Andrade wins, I'll be happy, bro. I've been waiting for Andrade to get a moment like this too, Yeah. But I feel like it's Benavidez's time to shine, bro.
All right. Well,
to be honest,
we're gonna go ahead and acknowledge the comments, the fine folks that are here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're watching live, if you're watching playback, smash that like button, and definitely super chat, all that good stuff. But We'll start out with my main man, Shower G. He says, "Hey BT, is there any update on the Trevor Bryan KO loss video? The streets are hungry." You're the only one that's asking me about that video. You're the only one. I made the video already. I don't remember what day it's coming out, but I do have it scheduled, so it'll be coming out in the coming days. I made it already. You'll get it real soon, so just be patient. But right now, God bless Trevor Bryan. I'm not really worried about Trevor Bryan. I'm worried about Andrade Benavidez in this card, but it is coming out, so just be patient. We got Eddie Morales, longtime viewer. He says he's got Team Lipinets, Ergashev, and Benavidez. So,
I forgot.
Because you got Lipinets versus Michelle Rivera.
Yes, sir.
We'll get into that fight as well. We got him. We got David Easter. He says, I heard Gary Anton Russell was offered a Lipinets fight, and he turned it down. What's wrong with that guy? He's probably getting bad advice. A lot of these fighters get bad advice. Like, for example, I know one fighter. I'm not going to name. Alex knows who I'm talking about. And if you know me really, really well, and I talk to you off of this YouTube, you know who I'm talking about. But there's a fighter that I know of who is going through a lawsuit right now. And, he got some bad advice from his handlers, and now he's suing his handlers. And those same handlers threatened to sue me recently. But nonetheless, sometimes you take bad advice from people that sound like they know what they're talking about, and they really don't. And I feel like that's probably what's going on with him. Shout out to Pops. Pops says Benavidez will win. Andre went up in weight, tend to tire out in the later rounds. He age also has a lot to do with it. Listen, that's all I keep hearing from people is age this, age that. What if the age doesn't play a factor, and it comes down to just can Benavidez just be the better man? That's all I keep hearing is age and Andre hopefully being frail. But if he's not this frail old man, then what? Sounds like Benavidez's ass might be grass,
And hey, listen, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Like Andrade, I can't think of an Andrade fight where it was like where he got badly hurt, like seriously cut and stuff. Yeah. To be honest,
no,
because
all the knockdowns he's had been flash knockdowns, nothing too crazy,
Yeah, like.
But this is one of the points. Shout out to my main man MEZBX. He's been making this point the whole week. He's been saying that Dennis Douglas is the last southpaw David Benavidez fought in 2016. Now, Alex, with that information, what do you make of that information? The fact that Benavidez has not seen one southpaw under them lights since Mama's Boy.
Ooh. Not Mama's Boy.
Mama's Boy.
Dang. Honestly, man, like I feel like Benavidez is like more experienced enough to know, like, because that was almost a decade ago. Mm-hmm. I feel like he sparred a lot of people since, a good amount of southpaws. Bival's a southpaw or no? No, he's an orthodox.
Bival's not a southpaw.
He's not?
No.
Okay. But like I remember hearing him say that he sparred someone who was a southpaw, but I feel like
I'm sure he sparred plenty of southpaws over the years.
Right.
There's gonna be an adjustment period like there always is with orthodox versus southpaw. But listen, one thing I heard about Alex, I'm gonna play a clip real quickly. One thing I've heard, because I had a chance to kind of talk to Team Benavidez last year when I was in San Diego for the Roman Gonzalez, Julio Cesar Martinez fight, and I talked to Diego Pacheco, good friend of the channel. I talked to Jose Benavidez Jr. And the one thing they both kind of kept saying was, everybody talks about David Benavidez's hand speed and his power and his endurance, but his boxing IQ is you guys haven't seen the best of me. I'll play Pacheco. This is what Diego Pacheco said about David Benavidez's boxing IQ last year. Here we go.
Being with like Benavidez, he's one of the best 68-pounders in the world. What do you think something about him that maybe people don't see, that maybe it's underrated about Benavidez, the quality he has?
I think he's just his IQ more than anything, bro. A lot of people say he's powerful, he's big, he's fast, but his IQ is crazy, bro. Like when he's in the ring, me, I feel like I'm a fighter with a high IQ, and just being there with him, I can tell he does like crazy shit that, he probably doesn't show in fights too much, but like in sparring, he do some shit that I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
This guy has skills.
So there you have it. A very. What do you think about what Pacheco said?
Yes, sir. No, I believe it. Listen, like, I believe like there was even an interview where Golovkin even mentioned about
when they were sparring, Golovkin and Benavidez.
Yeah, like even Golovkin mentioned it. No, I think it was the Bivol interview, but I know they sparred too. But Bivol was talking about Benavidez's IQ, things like that, what he can do, like, and why like we haven't seen the best of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
No, absolutely. One thing that's interesting, I was paying real close attention when I was watching the Showtime All Access, and I was watching them real close when they were hitting the bags, and then I noticed Benavidez. It looked like he was working more on his pivoting and turning, but then I also noticed Andrade is working a lot on his pivoting and turning. So I feel like there might be, a 1 to 3 round stretch in this fight where this might become a bit of a chess match, which is like not what you would expect in a David Benavidez fight. But I think Andrade's gonna have to. Andrade is such a multifaceted, awkward challenge for fighters that I think he's gonna bring that out of Benavidez. We may have to see Benavidez use the whole skill set against Andrade, because the thing is too, right? He's a bigger guy naturally. But one thing nobody ever talks about Benavidez is he's a long fighter. He's very long fighter, long jab. So normally Andrade has the edge in reach and being the longer guy. But how is he going to deal with somebody? I mean, I haven't compared their reach, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be similar. Maybe Benavidez might be a little bit longer. And I know they're really close because Benavidez has a long reach. So super long, I'm very intrigued to see with Andrade not being probably a massive advantage in reach in arm length. I'm looking forward to seeing how he kind of handles all that.
Man, and one thing about Andrade too, Benavidez is a slow starter. Andrade is a fast starter.
Yeah.
A couple of Andrade fights, he does kind of take a break in the middle, 6, 7, 8 rounds. He's okay, now I want to see what you can do so I can
try to one up you.
Yeah, you know, that's why I get every time Andrade fights. Luke Keeler was an example. The Solecki fight was also another example. So, I feel like it's just going to be one of those things. Andrade is going to start fast, then it's going to be a chess match in the middle, and then Benavidez is going to be
pour it on at the end,
like he did with Plant, bro. You know. So
what I'll say is this, man. I'm very intrigued to see if Andrade winds up sitting down on his punches a lot earlier in the fight. I mean, he's normally pretty explosive and dangerous early, but I think he's going to need to really, more than any fight ever, be that explosive guy early. Get Benavidez respect. Because then I think the fight will change in a really crazy direction if you see Andrade hit Benavidez something that maybe he didn't expect, and he gets hurt, and then all of a sudden, because you gotta understand, I feel like one of the things that makes Benavidez really good as a fighter could also be one of the things that gets him in trouble this fight, which is I feel his ego. He's a guy that fights a lot off of ego. Mike Tyson named him the Mexican Monster, so obviously he's feeding into that. That's part of his identity. So if he's fighting a guy who's not known as a big puncher, and the big puncher hurts the Mexican Monster, that could plant a seed in the back of his head. So I'm really intrigued. I think those first 4 rounds are about as interesting as first 4 rounds as we've gotten in boxing in a long time. But before you say anything, Alex, what happened with Samuel TAA? Apparently, ME says Samuel TAA RIP. Apparently, he got shot. Did Samuel TAA get shot? That's not good news because I'm a fan of Samuel TAA. I watch Showbox. He's a Showbox mainstay. He's fought a lot of people on Showbox. He fought my boy Trayshawn Wiggins. He fought Larry Friars. He fought I think he may have fought Brandon Pizarro at one point. He got shot?
It doesn't even say anything.
Let me go on Twitter. Let's go on Twitter or X. What do they call it now?
Oh,
he got shot.
Philadelphia boxer dead at 36.
Oh man.
Oh, he beat O'Shea.
Yeah, he was good. Samuel TAA is a good fighter. Let me see. TAA. Damn. Yeah, you hate to see it. Yeah. So yeah, the news is true. Tsunami Samuel TAA, Showbox warrior, Showbox veteran. He's been shot. And I guess, look, I didn't think I would be on here talking about Samuel TAA getting shot. I guess I gotta take at least a couple of minutes to show the warrior, the fallen warrior, his respect. Let me go on Boxer right quick. Shout out to everyone here. Make sure you smash that like button. I gotta take this time to show Tsunami Samuel TAA his just due, because this was a guy. I mean, I didn't make a ton of videos about him, but I did watch him fight quite a bit, and I did enjoy his fights when I did see him fight. So let's talk about him. Philadelphia Warrior. We'll get back to Benavidez Andrade in a second, but I just it's a respect thing, man. This is true school sports. This is the home of boxing. He had
a great win earlier too against Gogo Kia.
Huh?
Yeah, he actually had a great win earlier this year against Gogo Kia. Kind of sad, man.
All right, let's go to screen share right quick. Let's just take a couple of minutes to reflect on Tsunami Samuel TAA. You know, I see you, Chase Athletics. Good to see you, man. Hey, Chase, I know you're a Philly guy. What's going on in Philly, man? Why y'all shooting your Warriors out there? Samuel TAA just got gunned down, apparently.
Shout out Uzi.
No, it's not.
I'm joking.
So look, this is his record. Tsunami Samuel TAA. We'll get back to Andrade and Benavidez in a moment. So just bear with us, guys. But we gotta pay our respects to the fallen warrior, because this is breaking news. I didn't know or think this was gonna happen. So nobody did. He was 19-5-1, 8 KOs, 36 years old. You know, Showbox mainstay. If you watch Showbox all these years, there's no way on God's green earth you didn't know who Tsunami Samuel TAA is. Now, he beat some good fighters that you guys will know. Like, look, 2015, he handled O'Shaquie Foster his first loss, beat him, right? You know, and that was I know O'Shaquie would lose another fight like not too long after that, because he won like 13-2, and then he was in and out of jail.
Undefeated.
Beat undefeated O'Shaquie Foster, took his O, right? Then Tsunami Samuel TAA lost a very close fight to the 8-0 Montana Love. That was actually the first Montana Love fight I watched.
Oh yeah, I watched it with you. I remember.
That was a good fight. You watched me back at the old apartment. He beat Kenneth Sims Jr., guy that, you know, is world championship quality fighter. That you know, a lot of people think, you know, he's a top contender. 140 right now. Good win there. He fought my boy Trayshawn Wiggins, you know, Don King fighter.
He beats. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
He beat Sonny Fredrickson at the time. You know, Fredrickson's known as a nobody now, but at that time, Sonny Fredrickson was a good prospect. 21-1, good record. And I think his only loss might have been to Ergashev, because Ergashev beat the brakes off Sonny Fredrickson.
And it's like, this is probably supposed to be like a rebuilding fight for him too.
Yeah, and then the last fight of his I actually watched was this fight right here against Larry Friars. I actually had a chance to watch this. I can't remember what card it was on, if it was on Showbox, whatever, but I did watch that card just because Larry Friars had fought Xander Zayas on a top rank card, and I knew who he was, so I wanted to see how Larry Friars would do against a guy at a lower level like Samuel TAA. But listen, nonetheless, my thoughts, my prayers, my condolences go out to the families of Tsunami Samuel TAA. He was a great warrior of the sport. You know, Philadelphia, look, man, I went to Philly one time last year. I went to Jermall Ennis's gym in North Philadelphia, which is like right in the middle of the trenches. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia is one of the grimiest cities I've ever been to. It's a very dangerous place. So to everybody out there in Philly, man, stay safe, because it's a cold cold world out there. And I guess when I get more time to reflect on Tsunami Samuel TAA, maybe watch some fights of his, because I'm probably gonna watch some fights. I'm due to sit down and binge watch a bunch of fights anyway very soon. But you know, that's not welcome news. You never want to hear about fighters getting gunned down in their own community. So it's a sad part of life. But you know, all I can say is I don't know what to say, but rest in peace. You got anything to add to that? Like,
it's crazy. No, like hearing fighters just get shot, bro. Like damn, man. Like, happened to Hector Camacho. Happened to who else?
Well, that's like I was watching I've had this like back in like August and July. I was watching like a lot of black gangster movies, like Paid in Full and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got real.
Movie,
I got real deep into like the whole story of like that, and you know, and I got real deep into like you know, some of the guys from the 80s, the drug dealers, right? So there was this one video I watched on YouTube of like
Don't forget Menace to Society. You know?
I actually watched that one yet. I gotta watch that one.
Oh yeah.
But I was binge watching a bunch of videos about 1980s crack cocaine dealers, and I watched the whole video about the Junior Black Mafia in Philadelphia.
That area.
Yeah, Bucky Davis. You know who Bucky Davis is?
No.
Bucky Davis was like this drug kingpin in Philadelphia, and he was like a really high level amateur boxer. People were saying that this guy could have been like the next like bantamweight or flyweight champion of the world. But instead of doing that, he decided to become a drug kingpin, pretty much, and he was great at it. But yeah, he wound up getting gunned down in Philadelphia too at like a super young age. So you hate to hear it. I hate to hear stories like that. But you know, sometimes in life, you know, I don't know Samuel TAA's life like that, but sometimes in life we get dealt with very difficult circumstances, and sometimes we can't make certain people in life can't afford to make, you know, mistakes.
And it's like boxing, man. It's just like one of those sports where it's like you either using it to get out of the streets or you're trying to help the streets.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like one of those two.
Absolutely. MEZBX says AZ fights on. Yes, absolutely. I listen to his group Mob Style all the time because all these rappers, they lie about what they talk about in the lyrics. I listen to the one song he did about Rich Porter getting killed frequently. The song "What's Happening Black." It's like one of the best hip hop songs ever. But nonetheless, rest in peace, Tsunami Samuel TAA. That's what it is. We got our first super chat of the live. And listen, man, before I'm gonna highlight the super chat. Shout out to my main man right here. Where is it? My main man right here. My man Azing. Now, before I get to this question, I gotta pay homage. When people support, I gotta pay proper homage. So listen, thank you for making smart investments like my main man Floyd Mayweather.
Dubai, pick up a couple dollars. They upset. See, they upset because I'm able to milk the game. I'm smart. Kept all my faculties. Made a lot of smart investments. So, when great people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, the Waltons, the people that own Walmart and Walgreens, when they're getting money in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it's okay. A young kid like myself from the inner city, from the ghetto, I worked my way to the top. I was able to leave boxing on my own terms and keep all my faculties, kept a lot of my money. So they're upset that I'm able to go out there and continue to make 40 and 50 and 60 million outside the ring. You can't get mad. Listen, this is what God wanted.
So there you have it. It's what God wanted. It's what God wanted. So we appreciate you, Azing, for making smart investments to True School Sports. We appreciate you. He says, can Conor Benn beat Boots? Now, listen, I know Conor Benn's been flapping his gums, shooting his trap, and calling for Jermall Ennis. I really don't think he's serious about fighting Jermall Ennis, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. I interviewed Conor Benn myself in the summer of 2021 at City Athletic Boxing Gym in Las Vegas. I brought up back then about him fighting Boots, and he was saying back then, "No, we gotta build it up, gotta make it a big fight." Well, I guess 2 years have gone by, right? So you could say the bigger stars. So I guess now is the future.
Yeah. Now,
but in short, my answer is no. My answer is no. I don't think he'll beat Boots because first and foremost, I don't think he punches hard enough to hurt Boots, and I don't think he could outbox Boots.
He's not going to beat Boots, but he has the opportunity to bring the best out in Boots. I feel like
a good showcase fight, high level showcase fight.
Like it's going to be one of those tough fights. I would have Boots winning by late round knockout or 8-4 type of fight, but it's going to be one of Boots's signature performances. I feel like. Yeah,
it'd be a good fight for him as far as marketing wise, but I don't think Conor Benn beats Boots. Just being honest, but we appreciate you. Shout out to everyone here. It's your boy BT, Brendan Taylor, the Untouchable True School Sports Empire with my boy Alex. Hyro says, shout out to Serafina. Yes, that was Tsunami Samuel TAA's manager. I know you're a big Serafina fan, Hyro, for reasons we won't disclose here on the channel. Is it Charlo Benavidez fight still on? We'll get to that in a second, but from what I was reading, it looks like they've worked out a deal. But you got any other thoughts about Andrade Benavidez? I know today was the weigh-in. Benavidez actually came in lighter than Andrade. He came in at 167 pounds on the dot. Andrade actually came in at 167.6 pounds, so a little bit heavier for Andrade. Yeah. Do you read into that at all? The weight difference?
Listen, like people can say weight bully this, that, and the third, but as long as you're making the weight and you're still winning, I have no problem with a guy who's 6'1", fighting at who knows what. You know what I mean? We've had a lot of tall champions over the years, bro. Paul Williams, Gennaro Hernandez, even Oscar De La Hoya was a tall super featherweight back in the days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have Ryan Garcia, which of course he didn't look good in the Tank fight, but when he's not fighting Tank, Ryan Garcia is a beast. So I don't know. Most of the style of the fighters I always like watching are the tall, lanky,
power punching
fighters, all that jazz, man.
Like Subriel Matias?
I haven't watched.
He's kind of like that. He's kind of anyway.
No, I know
that's mad random, but yeah.
Subriel Matias. I need to watch.
He's fighting Fandora soon, actually, so you'll see him fight.
Okay.
Soon. But nonetheless, back on topic. Jonathan Perez says, in light of a tragedy like this, let's also remind ourselves that boxers put their lives on the line for our entertainment. I salute all fighters. I care for tomorrow, and I think you hit the nail on the head, man. You know, sometimes I'm being honest with you guys. Sometimes these days, you know, I'm very honored to know a lot of fighters personally. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna be with a couple of fighters of mine that are friends. My boy Lorenzo Medina, Eric Lentis Jr. I'm gonna be seeing them tomorrow. But a lot of fighters, man, a lot of boxing fans. I get frustrated talking to boxing fans sometimes because they get so deep into who they like that they'll put down another fighter's resume and say, "Oh, he fought nobodies." Listen, man, I understand there's levels in boxing, but there's no such thing. And at least for me, I can't speak for anybody else but me. But there's no such thing as a nobody. Anybody who has the balls, the courage, and the gumption to step into that square circle and risk, you know, their reputation, their name, everything, you know, just to have that right to be called champion or make something of themselves in boxing, you got to respect it. Because I mean, look, I was just watching my sorry ass Florida Panthers. You know, they're not sorry, but they were sorry tonight. They lost 3-0 to the Winnipeg Jets. Hockey's a tough sport, but hockey ain't boxing. Hockey ain't. They got pads. You know, it's a tough sport. Guys are hockey players are as tough as anybody, but they got pads, and that's what it is. There, most of the time, there's not as many deaths in hockey as boxing. Same thing goes for basketball and baseball. All great sports, all world-class athletes, but no sport at the highest level is more physically and mentally demanding than the sport of boxing. So I think people gotta start having a bit more respect for the fighters. That's just me. And
it's like at the end of the day, I have respect for every fighters, but there are supposed to be levels too. I feel like.
Do you talk about any sports besides boxing? No, not anymore. I've been talking about boxing. This is a strictly boxing channel. I could if I wanted to, but this is a boxing channel, man. That's why I need to be focused on the sport of boxing. My favorite sport.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but so no more thoughts on Andre Benavidez because I'm gonna switch gears here in a second. We're gonna talk about now. Look, I know this might be the part of the live that gets people fired up. They may not like when I talk about this. They may feel some type of way. If you're a Canelo fan, this is your time to get off the live because a lot of truth is going to be shoved down your throat right now.
I'm ready for this, man.
Okay, now
I'm ready for this,
listen. Before I start playing clips and dissecting and telling y'all the truth as to what's going on, I got to put y'all on game because I understand that not everybody's a boxing nerd like me. People got lives, they got jobs, they got families, they got girlfriends, they got a wife on the side, they got things they need to worry about, right? So, ProBox reported this, and it wasn't the most welcome news. Apparently, Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia are quietly negotiating a fight for next year to take place, and they're doing this before we even know who the hell the Andrade Benavidez winner is. So I think that's very disappointing news, of course, because it was expected that Canelo Alvarez would fight either the winner of the fight because he has so much history with both these guys. He's went out of his way to discredit Benavidez so much. But he never really beat Benavidez. Benavidez beat himself, losing the title on the scale, and people wanted to see that fight. With Benavidez being the young, upstart, entertaining, fan-friendly fighter he is, and then Andrade. He's never wanted to fight Andrade.
Now Andrade, he always talked negatively about
years.
At first, for Benavidez, at first he talked negatively about him, but then he beat Plant, and then Canelo was like, okay, whatever.
But for Andrade, he's always said he's boring. In fact, you were actually Alex was there. He was there the night when I had an experience with Canelo. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, let's play the clip from January 1st of 2022. I saw Canelo Alvarez. He was in my hometown. He was in South Florida at the Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood. He's basically in Dania Beach, right? Because Hard Rock's right there by Dania Beach.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So he was in my city, and I said, "Oh hell no, he ain't about to be in my city and not get pressed about Andrade, right?" So then I saw him, and I asked him about Andrade, and this is what he said.
Canelo, when you gonna fight Andrade, man? Never. You gonna fight Andrade? Canelo. No. Canelo. He's horrible. He's not a horrible fighter. He's a two-time. He's 2-division champion.
There you have it. He just repeated the words he said to Andrade to me. He said he's a fucking horrible fighter, and that's what it was. So listen, when I speak about Canelo, I can actually speak from personal experience because I encountered the man in real life. Alex, what do you make of this news of Munguia? First of all, tell the people, what do you make of just the Munguia fight if it does happen, and then also him not fighting the winner of Andrade Benavidez.
I mean, listen, man. At least see me personally, bro. I like Munguia, so hey, do what you gotta do, man. But it makes him a hypocrite because remember that talk of him saying, "Oh, I don't want to fight a Mexican fighter."
Yeah,
like this down the third. But you're fine fighting all these guys coming up in weight, younger than you, drug addicts who are sons of legends, cab drivers what's his name said, Greg Haugen, cab drivers that my grandma could whoop, like this down the third. But when it comes to Benavidez, you're talking about some who's not even from Mexico. He's just Mexican American. Oh, I don't want to fight Mexicans, bro. I mean, Munguia, what has Munguia done since the controversial loss to that Irish guy?
Dennis Hogan.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting a lot of respect for the Derevyanchenko fight. It was a very fan-friendly fight. Derevyanchenko's a true warrior.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't want to throw salt on Derevyanchenko's name. He's a good fighter.
It's the thing. It's just one.
A lot of people have beaten Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? He's already Jacobs barely. He beat Jacobs. Okay.
No. Wait. Well, no. He lost to Jacobs.
Did he lose to Jacobs?
Yeah, but that was a close fight.
Fight. Okay.
Yeah.
Could have sworn he beat it. Anyway, he lost to Charlo. Lost to Golovkin. The guy? He's good. I mean, he's better than his record would indicate. But him beating Derevyanchenko, I feel like Munguia should have to do more to get a Canelo fight. That's what it is.
Even if Derevyanchenko did win that fight, they weren't going to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. That's how I make of it. But
a lot of people say that Canelo Alvarez fights are scripted. You think is there any truth to that? What do you think?
The Kovalev fight, I feel like even the zone themselves in a way were trying to make it obvious that it was kind of scripted.
Yeah. I'll tell you this,
they weren't even hiding that.
That third Golovkin fight, you were here for that. Yeah. That third Golovkin fight was an abomination. That was brutal.
Bro, they just clapped each other up and then
they said at this level, that's about to respect my friend.
I remember what round it happened. It was round 5 where they were like, okay, now do what you gotta do, man.
But look, I want to play you guys this clip, right? Because I've had a chance to interview a lot of people involved in all this stuff over the years, and I was going through my archives and I was putting things in my StreamYard today. And I remember when I interviewed Demetrius Andrade's father. I gotta call him. So I'm bad at calling people back. But Paul Andrade, great trainer, great person. Had a chance to interview him in 2021, the day after Andrade beat Leland Williams.
I remember that.
And here's what he had to say about Canelo Alvarez. This is Paul Andrade's words, not mine.
They want to call themselves the greatest, they're proven. Why did he want to unify? He said he wanted to unify the middleweight belt till he got stripped. Demetrius fought Danny fought for his belt. He got stripped because he didn't end up fighting Demetrius. And okay, well, you got to stop. You could, so you had 2 belts, so you could come get our belt. That was one more belt you got, and 1 belt less that you needed. So why don't you come after our belt?
Because he's boring.
I don't know.
That's what he said.
That's what it is.
That's what he says.
So why does he fight these other guys? They're not boring?
I don't think I think they're boring.
Well,
I thought Canelo.
Then he wasn't man enough to unify the 160 division.
That's what I think too.
He's not man enough. And if you want to unify the 168, sign a contract, we'll go to 68, take somebody's belt, then we'll get him.
So there you have it. I want to see it, man.
And funny enough, he said that in 2021, and that's what he's actually gonna. That's actually what Demetrius Andrade is gonna attempt to do tomorrow. They said this when Andrew's at 160, he's still fighting Liam Williams and whatnot. He's gonna attempt to do what his father said in 2021, which is go to middleweight. I know Benavidez technically isn't the real world champion because he's winning the interim belt, but it's the best he can do because Canelo's been holding all of the belts in the division up. So, man of his word, gotta give respect where respect is due. And look. They've always had this energy for Canelo for years, and I've dealt with Paul Andrade more than Demetrius. And I remember I went, believe it or not, I went to the Billy Joe Saunders fight in Texas. I was there, 100,000 Mexicans. It was one of the biggest Cinco de Mayo celebrations this world has ever seen.
He came there with their both.
He came up with the shirt and whatnot. And Canelo came out with Angela Aguilar, the lovely Angela Aguilar. But I remember waiting outside the hotel, and I remember Paul Andrade had some choice words for the Mexican fans. Here's some of that interaction between Paul Andrade and the Mexican Canelo fans.
Hey, all your boy gonna do is get in the ring with him. And guess what? We'll go to Mexico City and do Canelo and give you all the fight.
Talk to him, Paul.
Ask them to come home and fight us. Man, he wasn't over here saying he wasn't going to ride a boo-boo. Oh, what about Benavidez? Oh, he don't want to hear nothing about Benavidez. Munguia don't want to hear boo-boo's name. Munguia don't want to hear boo-boo's name. He was our number one. He don't want to hear boo-boo's name.
All right, so you heard him. You heard him loud and clear. Look, what about Benavidez? What about Benavidez?
Man.
What's funny was like a lot of those Mexican fans that day too, the Canelo fans. They at first, a lot of them that didn't like Andrade, that had things to say, they wound up being cool with Paul. Like the 10 minutes, like he gave one guy a cigarette. They were smoking together.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing. It was an amazing time. But
no, because it's like deep down, bro. Like Andrade doesn't hate Canelo, but he wants his time to shine too. He wants to show the world. He's already proved what he had to prove against all these journeymen before he was 20, right? So like give him his time to shine already and be fair with it, And I remember that was the same fight where he showed up to the post-fight press conference, right? And then Canelo was like, "Shut the fuck," like
yeah,
all that and stuff, like.
Yeah, apparently now this is interesting, right? Because I actually have seen some of this myself on social media. Canelo fans have developed such a disdain for David Benavidez that a lot of them are actually cheering for Demetrius Andrade to defeat David Benavidez. What do you make of that?
I love to see this, man. Like honestly, because years ago everybody was shitting on fucking.
Oh, it was ridiculous. When I was there, I was a brave man because they were like you can only see maybe about like a third of the Canelo fans that were standing outside the hotel waiting for Canelo.
Yeah, I
remember I was telling all of them, I was like, man, there was this one guy. I should have put it in the stream yard. There's one guy. He was like, no, man, he's not ready for Andrade. He doesn't got a good resume. You can't get a good job without a good resume. I should have put that. I'm gonna put that in the stream out tomorrow, just so you can see what I'm talking about.
I want to see it.
But yeah, it was crazy out there. And look, I'm not taking. Listen, I want to be perfectly clear because I know a lot of times Canelo fanboys. They live their life vicariously through him. So they feel if Canelo wins and he gets paid $10 million, they get paid $10 million. Canelo got a beautiful wife. They got a beautiful wife. That's not how it works. But that's how some people operate. So he can do no wrong, right? Yeah. I'm not taking nothing from him. Canelo Alvarez is a fantastic fighter. He's a great fighter. You don't make the amount of money he's made in boxing being a bum. You don't get to the level he's got to in boxing by being some sort of, chump. I got respect for him. But at the end of the day, it's like, with great power comes great responsibility. It goes back to that Bible scripture I was saying on my last stream, the Shakur Stevenson stream on Sunday. Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much is required. So much was given to Canelo as far as the platform he has and the money he makes and the ability he has. So therefore, much is required. Yeah, okay. Do people demand a lot from Canelo? Yes, they do. But they demand a lot from Canelo because a lot of people have placed Canelo this expectation that he's the face of boxing. He's selling all these tickets. He's selling out, stadiums across the country. So, hey, he should have a lot of responsibility to carry boxing on his shoulders to a degree in the mainstream and give the public the fights they want. And the fight the public that want is not Jaime Munguia. It's David Benavidez. That's the fight everybody wants more than anything. Not me particularly, but I'm not an unselfish guy. I can see beyond the scope of BT. But yeah, that's you got anything to add to that?
Here's my thing too, right? Like people are also again hypocrites, man, because they're like, oh, David Benavidez, all these guys, they need to fight this, that, and the third. Who did Canelo have to fight to get Mayweather?
Yeah. Yo,
nobody.
Look. I mentioned Canelo fans going crazy, right? I love these kind of comments, man. Keep them coming. He says, "Hey, 4 glasses. You hate on Canelo and are jealous. LOL. I don't hate Canelo, but man, I have his name in my mouth all the time. Not really. I've made 6,000 something videos on YouTube, and Canelo doesn't even account for like 300 of those. You know, I've talked about him a lot, but I wouldn't say I'm jealous of him. I'm not jealous of no man. I'm perfectly comfortable with who I am. I think God made me, wonderfully in His image, and I think I live a blessed life, and I'm not envious of nobody. You know, God bless Canelo. God bless you. God bless the whole Canelo fan base. God bless everybody watching the live. God bless Alex. I got really and truthfully nothing bad to say about anybody. I just want to listen. I'm a boxing fan. I just want to see the best fights, and I don't think the best fight is Canelo with Munguia.
And hey, listen, man, like Canelo's not who we talk about either, bro. We done interviewed most of the golden age of the heavyweight.
I mean,
most of them.
He said I'm obsessed with Canelo, so now I gotta go through the resume. I gotta sound arrogant, Riddick Bowe, Holyfield, Klitschko, and these are names of guys I interviewed. Riddick Bowe, Holyfield, Klitschko, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Teofimo Lopez, Sugar Ray Leonard, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So I could go on the list, but you get the point. I've interviewed plenty of fighters, and Canelo's a great fighter. I mean, do you want to count me yelling at him as an interview? That's kind of an interview. When are you gonna fight Andre?
You did ask him
fucking horrible. That is a question, right? So I actually interviewed Canelo. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. And he came to our backyard.
Facts.
He came to our backyard.
Facts. That's funny. But that's what it is.
Man.
Ala Powell is insisting. He said, and I quote, "Block that fuckboy." You know what? Let's do that, because we can't have these no boxing, no life pom waivers disrupting the flow of our amazing live. He said, "Hey, 4 glasses." He didn't have to comment. He called me 4 eyes. He should have called me 4 eyes, not 4 glasses.
What's his name? Jay Talkies.
Who cares? Who cares? It's not relevant. Let's just get him out of here. Let's address the fine folks that are here. And I got great comments. Now, my main man, Conscious, says, Canelo was like number 5 or number 6 at 168, bro. Let's be honest. What do you think about that? Who would you place above Canelo? I mean, you got, Benavidez.
Yeah.
Would you put Andrade above Canelo?
Man.
He's only beat Demond Nicholson, so is that really fair to Canelo? Morel? How about Morel? You put Morel above Canelo?
Even Morel is kind of like...
But Berlanga.
Pacheco? Damn, we're just gonna put these prospects above Canelo.
I mean, he said him. I'm trying to figure out who they could be. So I'm just throwing out names that come to mind.
Yeah, nah.
Tell me who they. You know what? Do me one better. Tell me who the hell is above Canelo at 168. Just do that. Do that for me.
Yeah.
And here we go, Haro. I told you Haro's gonna deal with this Munguia bullshit. He says, "Why don't you want to see Munguia? Can Munguia not fight? Is he not a Mexican warrior? Is he in his real weight class and fight John Ryder, somebody you overrate?" I never overrated John Ryder. I've never said. See, now you're full of it, Harold, because I've never overrated John Ryder. I've always rated John Ryder properly. I've always said that he is an underrated 168-pounder, but you never heard me say John Ryder's a world championship fighter. I mean, technically, he beat Canelo 50, should have been world champion, but I'm saying you never heard me say he's better than, some of these guys that are fighting tomorrow or David. I never said nothing about John Ryder. But as far as Munguia, look, it's not really about Munguia. You have got this whole fetish for Jaime Munguia for some weird reason I'll never understand, but it's not about Munguia. It's the principle of you have Andrade and Benavidez, 2 guys who Canelo himself, he stated himself, hey, these guys need to fight each other. They need to not wait around for me because I'm busy. And now they're doing that, and before they could even do that, you're negotiating a fight with Munguia. So that it's the principle. It's about that general principle, that GP. On GP, he need to fight Benavidez and Andrade. Whoever wins that fight. So that's just how I'm coming.
I feel like this fight is just a setup for Munguia to be like the next Canelo, and that's a bad thing.
And about that, right? About that, because eventually, look, we're 44 minutes in. Eventually, we're gonna have to talk about other fights on the card. So we appreciate you guys being here with us, all 57 of you. Make sure you smash that like button, run it up. I'm having a good time. I was tired before I came out alive. Now I'm energized. I'm fired up. I always thought for the years that Munguia was going to be a guy that Zanford Promotions and the powers that be in the boxing industry, I thought that they were going to eventually try to make him like the next Canelo. I always thought Canelo and him would fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a surprise that this is happening. I kind of expected it. I've said it before on videos. I said, well, Benavidez and Andrade are fighting each other. You know who Canelo's fighting next? Jaime Munguia. And here we are. So
here we are, man.
It's not the most surprising thing in the world. But nonetheless, listen, do me a favor, guys. Let us know what city, what state, what continent you're watching from.
Yes, sir.
Smash that like button. Run it up. Definitely subscribe for new and hit the super chat button. Listen, this fight with Andrade Benavidez is obviously a great fight, and we should all rejoice as boxing fans and be excited about it. But there's so much more on this card, and I wanted to run through it. So we'll start with Jermall Charlo versus Jose Benavidez because this is the co-main event. There's questions about if the fight's even going to happen. We'll go to screen share real quickly just to get the people that maybe didn't hear the details and kind of run through it and give our opinions. Dan Rayfield reported after the weigh-in, he said, and I quote, "For the first fight in 2.5 years, WBC titleist Jermall Charlo badly missed weight for a non-title fight versus Jose Benavidez Jr. It was contracted at 163 pounds. Benavidez was under 162, 1.2. So Benavidez Jr., true professional. He did what he needed to do.
Damn, both the Benavidez.
But Charlo, oh my God. Now look, it's bad enough if you miss weight. How do you miss weight for a non-title catch weight fight? You 3.4 pounds over the weight limit. So now him and Benavidez are working out a deal. And that's where we're at. Keith Idek, really good reporter himself. He stated that apparently Jermall cannot weigh more than 176 pounds. He can't rehydrate above 176 on the second day weigh-ins, according to what Jose Benavidez Sr. said. So if he comes up above that, there will be some financial losses for Jermall Charlo. And listen, from what I heard, right, we know that he had some problems outside the ring with his wife or whatever. I'm not sure he could afford to be losing money because he can't make weight. So that's the cost of being.
He better win, man.
He better win, and he better be professional and not coming above 176. Now, apart from weight, all right, if the fight does happen, I mean, what do you make of Benavidez Jr. versus Jermall? What do you think, Alex?
Man, I thought this went from a comeback fight for Charlo to a must-win situation, man. A must-win
for Charlo.
For Charlo,
yeah.
Yeah, damn, bro. Now there's urgency in it now. Shit. Listen, bro. I feel like this might be Benavidez' time to shine, bro. This might be his win.
It could be a bit of poetic justice, right? Because I remember I've been following boxing closely enough to remember when Jose Benavidez was a highly touted prospect on Top Rank and fought Bradley.
And then he got shot, which he lived. He lived
to tell a story. But listen, man, he's gonna get his chance to I feel fight a guy whose head really isn't all the way there. So I mean, if the pins in his foot hold up just enough,
and hey, no, Benavidez even told him in the press conference, "Oh, you're going through some stuff. Oh, I got shot a couple years. You don't see me stopping."
Absolutely. And but Jonathan Press asked a very pertinent question. See that vocabulary word, pertinent.
Yeah.
Does this give Charlo an unfair advantage with all the extra weight? It could be. It could definitely be like I don't want to say like Arturo Gatti, Joey Gamache, but you remember Arturo Gatti was like big. He was much bigger than Joey Gamache.
I know.
So hopefully this isn't a situation like that, and it winds up being a good fight. Kelmer asked an interesting question that I wanted to touch on actually, and he said boxing is slowly dying. Would you agree, BT? I wouldn't say it's dying. I would say it's taken a big hit but boxing will never die. The reality is boxing will never fully die because there will always be that 1 or 2 big fights a year that's always gonna get the casuals involved that keeps the sport alive, right? Just when you think it's dead, the sport finds a way, somebody rises up, a great fight happens and good things happen for the sport to keep going, right? But
and all the people go ahead.
When I went to Japan earlier in the year, I'll tell you this right now. If boxing is dead, it must be only here because in Japan, it's alive and well. When I was in Japan, I mean, I saw billboards of fighters. It's a major sport. I've been to England before.
Yeah,
same thing.
don't
Boxing's
forget
alive in
England.
a lot of places. I mean, we think it's dead because of America, because it's maybe the 8th or 9th most popular sport here.
Yeah, and don't forget Mexico too, man.
Mexico,
Like,
I mean,
oh, yeah.
nah. I think boxing, big time boxing in the USA is in the shitter right now. But overall, worldwide boxing, is still in a healthy place. So it is what it is. It's a global sport, so you got fighters from different countries: Japan, Mexico, USA, Argentina, Nicaragua, whatever you want to name. They got a fighter from that region. So boxing will always have its place in the sports landscape. I feel, but that's just me.
Exactly.
When it comes to boxing, I'm an optimist. But I will say this: that Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury, that really. You got any thoughts on that? Because I know you weren't. I didn't go live for that fight. You got any thoughts on that?
It, man. No, man. What a I could just tell that Tyson Fury, like, here's what I feel like with Tyson Fury, right? Like Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, like they were friends too in a way. Of course, they have to sell the fight, but I mean, and we hear about Francis Ngannou, how he was homeless 10 years ago, how he wanted to do boxing before he did MMA, this, that, and the third, and MMA fighters, they don't make as much money as boxers do. It's already everybody and their mom knows that. So like, I feel like Tyson Fury like just performed like that to give Francis Ngannou like some more opportunities. Like,
and he's gonna get them. He's already, the WBC said, you know what?
Yeah.
He's the number 10 ranked. Ain't that some shit? 0-1, number 10 contender. I mean, I thought he won. But I'm just saying, on paper, he's 0-1, and you got to rank number 10.
He did make a competitive fight. I mean, against a lineal heavyweight champion, not just
lineal,
not Jake Paul, who's fighting his first pro boxer for the first time. No, lineal
heavyweight. And I remember I had to explain to you many years ago about lineal and heavyweight and the importance of all that.
I mean, this is good to see for me, man. Like I want to see what Francis Ngannou can do for boxing. But as for Tyson Fury, bro, he was supposed to like make boxing like not seem like a joke, And
he did the opposite. But anyway, look, we don't. Yeah. I think me and Alex are on the same page. We don't really have much to say about Charlo versus Benavidez. Really, it's a fight that's kind of BS because Benavidez is not 160 pounder. They're fighting all the way at 163, 160, whatever they're fighting at. So it's crazy. But in my eyes, this is the real co-main event. In fact, this is the main event for me, because I've been talking about this fight since I got a video on the channel, me in Japan.
Oh, yes, sir. Matias and Ergashev. Yeah, let's go.
Subriel Matias is defending his IBF belt against Shohjahon Ergashev. Now, I'm very familiar with Shohjahon Ergashev because he has a presence. You see him a lot. If you go to these South Florida gyms like I have over the years, you've seen him at least a couple times. And, I've seen him a couple times this year. Funny enough, I remember in February, I went to this gym down here called Delray Beach Boxing, way up north. And he was there. And so I asked him, I said, hey, man, what's going on? What's next? And he pulled out his phone. He said, you see this? Subriel Matias. And he showed me the IBF reg. He said, I'm fighting him next. And that was back in February. And now here we are, 9 months later. So good for him. Now, I'm a little bit not as excited about this fight as I was before because for those that know, for those that don't know, Ergashev has come out. Apparently, Ergashev is taking the Cal Your Fire approach, meaning that he don't really care if he win, lose, or draw. He's thinking about this being his last fight in boxing. And why, you may ask? Because he feels he's proven everything he's needed to prove to himself, and he feels like he's getting older, and it's time to spend time with family. And look, those are all noble reasons to stop boxing. But when you're fighting a guy who literally caught a body, he deleted somebody from Earth, and I'm not trying to be funny, but he actually deleted somebody from Earth. It's not no time to be thinking about what you can do after boxing before you fight. Now after the fight, you can do all that. I'm a little worried for Ergashev. I'm a little just a tad bit. Maybe some people are saying it could be like a
Tyson Fury,
a tactic to get into Matias's head, but I don't know. What do you make?
No, honestly, bro, you just became 23-0. You're about to win your first world title. You're in a division where there's a lot of great fights to be made. I feel like this is just his saying of look, listen, I'm not here to be I'm here to be known in the division, and I'm here I'm not gonna keep on fighting, but I want to make as much money as I can and dip,
Okay, yeah.
He's being Jared Anderson without being Jared Anderson.
Yeah, and I know he's had a frustrating year because even before this Matias fight got done, I know that Liam Paro had a chance to fight him for the IBF eliminator. He decided to go another route. Richardson Hitchens had a chance to fight him for the IBF eliminator. He decided to go another route.
Jack Catterall
decided to fight the corpse of Hoy Linares and go another route. So it's been frustrating. And I know it's frustrating for these fighters.
Which is like, of all the fighters, I only really understand Jack Catterall's like stance, but everybody else, like when you're a prospect just like him, like you have no reason to be ducking him. Like, like literally, like.
Yeah, but as far as the fight itself, Matias is his first defense of the IBF title. He won against Jermall Charlo.
Yeah.
This is a guy that's done a lot in his short career as far as performances and the guys he's beating and the way he's beating them. The Dadashev fight, Jukumbayev,
that Dadashev fight, man. And listen, like I watched the fight like when it was live, so like I saw Dadashev like as he was going back to his dressing room, like collapsing and shit. It was scary, but
yeah,
Matias, bro.
I'll tell you this. I'm gonna go to screen share right quick because I wanted to point something out to you guys. So I was on boxing earlier and I was looking at like their experience level, right? Because they both turned pro on the same time. Matias turned pro in December of 2015. Ergashev actually turned pro also December, like literally the same month, same year. Matias actually turned pro 4 days earlier than Ergashev.
Yeah, Matias is not young himself either. Damn.
No, he's 31. Now Matias has 3 fights less than Ergashev, but yet he has 32 more rounds than Ergashev.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is being that they turned pro around the same time, got damn near the same amount of fights. Maybe Ergashev got a little bit more. Tell me that Ergashev knocks guys out a lot earlier, and I think you can even just look at that and kind of see what type of fighter these guys are. Matias is a guy that as the fights go on, he grinds you down and he gives you slow, methodical, life-changing, career-altering kind of beatdowns.
Yeah.
Ergashev can punch hard with both hands. He got TNT in both hands. And I think, in my humble opinion, yes, Matias has fought some big punchers, but I would definitely say Ergashev, on paper at least, is hands down the hardest puncher he's ever fought. So I'm very intrigued to see like how's Matias going to navigate dealing with that heavy artillery that's coming at him from Ergashev, because he's going to be throwing punches with bad intentions. What do you think?
Ponce is an underrated puncher. He doesn't have as much knockouts as both Matias and Ergashev, but Matias has like experience with like big punchers. Even Dadashev was a big puncher too. Like a lot of people forget that. So like I feel like not only does he have experience, but like Matias knows what to do. He's not living the lifestyle that he's living before the first Ananian fight. It's gonna be interesting to say the least.
This guy's been commenting the whole live. I wanted to acknowledge his comment, but he's shout out to my main man Next Gen Combat Sports TV. He says, have you noticed when asked about the winner of Matias Ergashev, Devin Haney and Rodriguez have started saying, yeah, that's a nice fight for the belt, but I want big name fights. Yeah, that's that BS. Everyone's like, yeah, I want big names, or in my British voice, I want the big nights.
No, but Rodriguez has talked about Subriel Matias earlier this year. I mean,
shit, it took him a while to get to it. I remember for a while. I remember like in 2022, he was like, yeah, nobody want to fight me. They say I'm too dangerous. And then I'm seeing Subriel Matias scream from the mountaintop, I'll fight you. Yeah. And he's like, no, nobody want to fight me. I'm too dangerous. So yeah, he may have acknowledged him, but shit, it took him long enough. Listen, you got to expect that they will do that. Those guys, Matias and Ergashev, are both low risk, or high risk, low reward, so to speak. And these guys don't want to go through that kind of punishment in camp and in the ring for the kind of money they will get. So I understand it, but if one of those guys were to start unifying titles, then that fight would have more demand.
No, and even Lopez is talking about, hey, I need 100 mil.
Yeah. I'll ask you this. I'll ask you this, Alex, and I'll ask the chat as well, and then I'll answer myself. Okay. So you got Ergashev versus Matias. You got Devin versus Regis. Yeah. Of those 4 fighters, what combination of those two, like what's the best match that could be made between the winner of Ergashev and Matias and the winner of Devin versus Regis? What do you think?
Rougarou and Matias, man.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Why do you like Rougarou versus Matias?
I've been wanting that fight before Devin Haney came to the division and before Ergashev like had a chance to like challenge for the title, man. I've been wanting that fight since before Matias won the title.
Yeah.
Since before both the Ananian fights, really.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fight I've been waiting for like years, like silently though, because Matias is still a prospect.
Yeah.
You know,
he had to build his way up in boxing, so
exactly.
I get it. Yeah, for me, I would say a fight I like.
And fuck Devin.
I would say, damn, hating on Devin, man. You better have OG Bill. Don't see OG Bill be watching some.
Shout out to Bill, but
I like Bill though.
Yeah.
But I would say for me of that bunch, I'll say Prograis, but I'm gonna go Prograis Ergashev.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying Prograis Ergashev is because of the types of punches they are. Like both them dudes, it's TNT in both hands. There's no grinding down. There's none of that. Like Matias is gonna get strong and he's gonna wear you down and wear you out. But with Ergashev and Prograis, you might get your lights put out any moment. So I like that kind of fight.
No.
Southpaw and Southpaw matchup. They'll kind of mirror each other for a bit. I think that would have a chance to be very explosive. But of course, I don't think Regis Prograis is gonna fight Ergashev or Devin. So it's all just hearsay.
Yeah.
But shout out to my man David Easter. He says Ergashev talking about retiring. I don't read too much into it like everyone else is. Tio had one for the retirement before fighting Josh Taylor. That's a hell of a point. And everyone and their mama, myself included, was writing off Tio before he fought Josh Taylor. So you're absolutely right. The only thing we know is that when the lights come on, we will see. We will see who's ready to fight.
And I know I mentioned him already, but bro, Tyson Fury has been talking about retiring since he started fighting.
I mean, look, I can't. yeah, it's true. It's true.
Go ahead though.
So it's a real thing. It's a real thing in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
But I saw one comment I want to get. By the way, Hyro, where's Hyro? Because he's complaining, you're not reading my comments. You're not reading my comments. He says, because Ergashev has 2.7 million followers. I mean, he does. For those who don't, Ergashev got the whole Uzbekistan behind him.
Wow.
But I don't think he's the best Uzbekistan fighter from South Florida. By the way, hold on. I wanted to run through something because a lot of Matias fans, for whatever reason, Subriel Matias is building up a good Puerto Rican fan base here on YouTube because they like Benavidez fans, man. They're like they ride for Subriel Matias. Now you would think, right, with this being on a pay-per-view card, you're fighting a guy who's 23-0, 20 knockouts, all this amateur pedigree. He's got highlight reel knockout, the highlight reel knockout. You would think for your guy, you want to prop the opponent up so that if he beats Ergashev, you could say, well, he beat the guy that Richardson Hitchens and Liam Paul and Jack Catterall all ran from.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. They're saying he's trash and Matias is going to knock him out because he has no resume. So I wanted to kind of go through his resume a little bit and give you guys my opinion on his resume because there are some guys he's beaten that are not big names, but guys that, if you know your boxing, you'll know some of the names. Sonny Fredrickson at the time. Remember I told you Samuel TAA beat Sonny Fredrickson, but this is the first guy to beat. I watched this fight. Ergashev put a 3-round beatdown on Sonny Fredrickson. Sonny Fredrickson was never the same after that night. He ruined his career that night. Great win there over a good prospect at the time, 18-0. Michael Fox, again, Michael Fox. He was 19-0, undefeated. Wound up beating him rather soundly that night.
Now, I didn't know he fought Michael Fox.
He did, yeah. I know this guy right here. Now, this guy's a little journeyman, Luis Alberto. What's his name? Verone. Yeah, I know who he is because he fought. I think he fought Pete Dobson.
Mm-hmm.
But he fought early. Like he fought real early in his career. Where's Ergashev at? Yeah, because this guy fought Michael McKinson. McKinson wound up beating him, but he lost to Ergashev. McKinson was the first guy to beat him actually. Because McKinson guys just went up. Like, he's like, I beat Luis Alberto Verone, and then Ergashev beat him a little later on. But tough guy, guy that. He's had 30 fights. He's got 8 losses. Only been knocked out one time.
And that was by
No. Ergashev didn't knock him out.
Oh.
The guy that knocked him out was what was this dude? Some 8-1 guy knocked him out. And that's boxing for you. He fought all these names, this Argentinian, this Argentine. He fought all these names. He fought Michael McKinson. He fought Ergashev. He fought Brian Sabayo. He fought Lex Rocha. Yeah. But the 8-1 guy is the guy that knocks him out. In one round, nonetheless.
Wait. Click on his profile.
Who is this dude? Who is this Santiago Damian Sanchez fellow? Let's see. Oh, my God. He must have had the night of his life, 9-12-1.
Oh,
But nonetheless,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
I'm not sitting here saying Ergashev's resume is great because it's not like sparkling with big names and whatnot. But he beat some good, solid fighters, guys like Michael Fox, guys like Sonny Ferguson, guys that at the time, if you add the records up, were a combined 37-0. Top good prospects. There was high hope for them in boxing, and their hopes got ruined and crushed like a grape because of Ergashev. If, fighters know, I mean, boxing's a small world. So if you're one of these dudes that's in the gym, putting shit out, knocking people out in the gym, it gets around quick. You could be in Florida, knock somebody out in the gym in Florida, and by nighttime, that news will travel up to New York or California, and someone will know that you knocked the hell out of somebody and sparring in the gym. And I know from fact that Ergashev has been putting shit out in these South Florida gyms for not just 1 year, but multiple years. So look, you don't gotta believe what I'm saying. He's a fantastic fighter, and there's a reason why guys like Richard Hitchens, Jack Catterall, and Liam Parle weren't exactly eager to fight him. And yes, they can hide behind money. It's the popular thing to do these days, but it's more than just money. They know he's tough. They know he's tough, and it's not going to be an easy walk in the park for them. So, yeah.
Hey, man, the Charlo – look, listen, bro. Like, the Charlo and Benavidez fight, that should just be the opener for the pay-per-view. That shouldn't even be the third, like,
damn
fight.
Damn, no respect.
I mean, damn, because, like, to have, like, Hector Luis Garcia.
Haney's talking about the bypass fight Thurman on the bypass – talking about the bypass to fight Thurman on YouTube yesterday. That's very unfortunate for the top contenders 140. Listen, Bill Haney, Bill Haney's like one of the best managers in boxing. Like that guy, listen, I've been having these thoughts recently myself. I still got to educate myself on things with the boxing business, but I might dip my toe into boxing management in the next couple of years. You never know. Maybe we start True School Management LLC, and maybe I move some fighters myself. But nonetheless, Bill Haney, I love to pick his brain about boxing management because he's delivered a masterclass on how to manage a fighter. Devin hasn't signed long-term deals with networks that have ruined his career like others. So he's fought on Showtime, he's fought on ESPN, he's fought on DAZN, been able to move and how he wants, and it's gonna be no different here. He's gonna I think he'll beat Regis. He'll become WBC champion at 140. And if what you're saying is true, I mean, look, Devin is already filling out pretty nicely. They're saying that Devin is gonna beat if he beats Regis, he's gonna drop the belt, and he's not gonna fight other guys at 140. So if you think he's gonna fight Tio or Ergashev or Matias, no, he want to fight Keith one-time Thurman. What do you think about that? That's the most random shit I ever heard. Devin Haney versus Keith one-time Thurman.
I mean, to be honest, man, a couple years ago, back in the days, Tank was trying to fight Thurman. Like,
all these guys want to fight Thurman.
All these lightweights, bro, for some reason, right? Like
they must see something the same way that Mike Garcia saw something against Earl Spence.
Yeah, no, for real. But no, honestly, bro, like what do you get out of fighting Thurman, bro? Like Thurman hasn't done things.
His only loss was to Pacquiao, and
what has he done since? Beat Lopez.
I mean, yeah. No, it wasn't Lopez. He beat Barrios.
Okay, Barrios. Well, he fought Lopez before.
And now Barrios might be the WBC champion. So that was going to age well. Bet you best put some respect on Mario Barrios. El Azteca.
Bro, he didn't even deserve that title eliminator, to be real, man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Dundada says true school. He says true school management. I'll be your first intern. LOL. No, I'm serious. No, I'm actually gonna. I've asked a couple of my friends. I've requested if they can give me a copy of some of their old boxing contracts, and I want to really get into the nitty gritty of the verbiage of reading a boxing contract. Because I mean, I've heard things. I've heard things over the years about clauses and fighters telling clause, but I want to read a contract myself and just really get familiar with the legal verbiage more, and just probably pick the brain. Cause I know a couple of managers. I know Peter Kahn. I know a couple, Brian Rickey, another good manager. Because I feel like I could be an asset to a lot of fighters. I have this platform, so if I did manage a fighter, they'd be on here all the time. I'd raise their profile, right? They'd be on True School all the time.
Yes, sir, bro.
But there's one fighter. I'm not gonna say his name, and he doesn't even know. But there's one fighter in particular that you guys won't know either because he's not even pro yet. But I'll be
the hype man.
I'll love to manage this one. This is one fighter I love to manage down the road, but I need to learn a lot more. So yeah. True School Management LLC in the works down the road. Not now, but down the road. Rocky Austin said, "I like Ergashev's demeanor during the weigh-in. I believe he will clip Matias. I didn't watch the Ergashev Matias weigh-in. What was his demeanor like? Did you see the Ergashev Matias weigh-in? Probably should have watched it. I was busy watching my sorry ass hockey team get blanked for 3 periods.
I was today years old when I found out that they actually do real weigh-ins before like the live streams.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So a fighter already knows, like, if he missed weight, so he already knows he can go out there look like a dick, like, oh, I missed weight.
Because like I'm getting a notification that Charlo missed weight at 2 p.m. and I see that the live stream is until 6 p.m. and I'm like, huh? Like what? But yeah, like.
Next Gen Combat says that Boots should honestly wait for Devin and all those guys from 135 and 40 to come up, because if he beats him up, that'll make his name bigger. You know what? I want to see Tank fight Boots. F it. If Tank want to go fight them, he can go fight Boots.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Could you imagine if like Tank fought Boots and knocked him the hell out? If Tank knocked out John, we're getting way off topic here, but
no. I'm imagining, bro. Like.
Be crazy. David said that Ergashev got right in Matias's face. Hey, maybe he's channeling that doubt into intensity. He about to come take. Listen, personally, like I like Subriel Matias. I got nothing against him. I love watching him fight, but man, some of his fans have been so disrespectful to Ergashev, and like I like both of them. I'm a fan of Ergashev and I'm a fan of Subriel Matias, but y'all gotta have some respect, man. Just because y'all don't know boxing on that deep of a level, don't mean you gotta disrespect the fighter's resume.
Yeah, no facts, bro. Like,
no. So, if T.O. Senior and Bill can do it, we can do it. We can definitely do it, Dandada. And that's probably gonna be one of the things that I work on. I got a couple things I want to work on for the new year, a couple projects, you know. Can't say them all on here, but a couple things I want to do. Listen, I think we said all we need to say about Ergashev and Matias, so we're going to switch gears to another fight on the card, and it's going to be an interesting one, a really interesting affair. Sergey Lipinets versus Michel La Salsa Rivera. Okay, so let's talk about this fight. Michel Rivera, first fight since he got absolutely exposed,
destroyed,
outclassed by Frank Martin. And, you know, he's in a new weight class now. What was stated after the fight was that he couldn't make the weight. He tested positive for diuretics.
Yeah.
So he's trying to rebuild. And listen, he got a tough out. We all know y'all can love Sergey Lipinets. You can hate Sergey Lipinets. One thing about Sergey Lipinets we know from all these years is he ain't no punk. He comes to fight. This is actually, believe it or not, before Matias agreed to fight Ergashev, this is actually Matias wanted to fight Lipinets.
I remember this.
He wanted to fight,
but then the IBF was like, "Oh no, not so fast. You have a mandatory."
I'm glad they did.
Yeah,
because it's a better fight.
Exactly.
Now, I can't believe it because Lipinets hasn't fought since last year when he fought down here in Hollywood against Omar Figueroa Jr.
You know, man, like Lipinets has retired a lot of fighters.
I mean, he retired a lot. He retired Figueroa. He retired Lamont Peterson. Who else did he retire?
He retired someone else, I think. I think it was just those two guys, but
nonetheless, stylistically, like I think it's an interesting fight because we know what Lipinets, he can box, he can be slick at times, but he can also be the blunt. He's a versatile fighter. I think the onus is on Michel Rivera to really show what he can do in this fight because we know Michel Rivera when he's got it going, he's got a world-class jab, but it's a very textbook jab, and sometimes it can get very repetitive. In a veteran like Lipinets, who's seen every style under the sun, he's been in there with some of the best fighters in the world, like Jermall Ennis and Mikey Garcia. He's got a great resume.
And he's fought in kickboxing too.
Kickboxing, so he's not all the way conventional boxer.
World champion in both boxing and kickboxing.
Exactly. So he's going to be someone I feel that genuinely is going to be ready to counter. I think the key to victory for Michel Rivera in that fight is he's going to have to disguise that jab and change things up, because if he just goes there with that long textbook jab the whole time, at some point it may work for a couple rounds, but you get to round 4, round 5, you know, Lipinets gonna make the adjustment, and I think he's gonna counter him. And
It's kind of keep going, my bad.
I think Michelle Rivera and a lot of people who are picking Michelle Rivera are kind of just they're banking on him. They're banking on Michelle Rivera. They're banking on Lipinets being old. I think because if he's not, it's kind of like the same thing with Boo and Benavidez. If he's not old, I feel like Lipinets can make the adjustment. But Michelle Rivera, it's his chance to really show what he could do. This fight's at 142, so mind you, we know that Lipinets a lot of times he's taking some fights at 147. He shouldn't like Boots. He shouldn't have fought Boots at 47.
Yeah,
it's way too much for size.
And here's the thing: like before he moved to 147, remember the World Boxing Super Series? They were talking about him being a part of that, but he decided to move up to 147, which I feel like that was a bullshit decision.
I mean, monetarily it made sense, but you got who do you think comes out on top in that one?
Lipinets
tough one.
and Rivera.
Yeah, a lot of people are picking Rivera.
Yeah, no, I feel like Rivera got this, man. Like he
Michelle?
Yeah, I got Michelle Rivera. Like honestly, yeah, I feel like he's the younger guy. I feel like 140, we're gonna see what we didn't see at 135. Especially in the Frank Martin fight. He's gonna be more like energized now. He's not gonna be weight drained. This, that, and the third.
Yeah, I'm putting that boy Michelle Rivera on upset alert.
I
don't know if he's the favorite, but I'm gonna assume that he is. I'm putting him on upset alert. I'm going Lipinets, man. I think first of all, Lipinets, just so long as he makes 140 healthily, 140 is his optimum weight, and I just think that textbook. Sure, I don't think he's gonna bring nothing else with him but that textbook jab, and I don't think that textbook jab gonna be enough to hold Lipinets for the whole course. I think Lipinets will make the adjustment, and he'll be in Rivera's chest. He'll make things very uncomfortable for him, but
he only has one loss at 140. Mikey Garcia.
We'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna go with Lipinets. That's my opinion. Anybody else picking Lipinets? Am I alone on the Lipinets pick? How about I didn't get your Matias Ergashev. Who you got?
I said Matias.
You said Matias?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got Matias as well.
I
got Matias as well. I think as much as I like Ergashev and I would like him to win, I think Ergashev's style, again.
I just don't want him to retire though. Like
Ergashev? He's just now getting known. Like he just now getting to that point where he's known. And yes, Stephen Polanco, listen, I'm gonna stand on everything I said when it comes to Boo Boo. All right. I was mad at him for a period of time, very mad, angry, because what y'all don't understand is I gotta come on YouTube every single day.
The Janibek fight.
Yes, for the Janibek, I gotta come on YouTube every single day. I gotta hear things every single day, and I'm a human being. I get frustrated, and I didn't like how he handled the Janibek and Parker situation at that time, but in hindsight, it's worked out well for him. He's getting his big fight, and now it's moment to shine. So I'm going to stand on everything I said, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah,
right,
boo-boo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Let me see. Darius says, I'm going with Matias because he beat Bakhtiar Jukumbayev. Yes. Great fight, by the way. That was probably one of his most entertaining fights, I feel.
And I think that was his first fight since the first Ananian fight, his first loss. So very impressive.
Yes, sir. All right, now the last notable fight on the card. I know we got like Carmel Moulton and a couple guys on the undercard, but they're fighting no hopers. They're supposed to win. I'm talking about the fights that's really supposed to, be competitive and impact the top levels of boxing, right? The last fight on the card is actually a title fight. It's going to be for the WBA super featherweight title. You got Hector Luis Garcia in his first fight back since getting absolutely starched by Gervonta Davis. He'll be taking on Lamont Roach.
Yeah.
What do you make of this fight, Alex? Lamont Roach versus him.
Listen, bro, the Tank fight was more competitive than what people thought.
It was more competitive than Lion Ryan.
Exactly. Like, he was the real Garcia, bro. He proved to be the real Garcia of the two. Until, his eye got bad. But, no, listen, man. Lamont Roach is just one of those fighters who's, like...
He's just there? Like, you feel like he's not... He's a average contender, you feel?
Yeah, I don't want to... Yeah, just average. But, but On the good average, not the.
I don't know, man. Like, look, I'm gonna go to screen share because I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys what I'm looking at now. Because a lot of people want to pull out papers, talk about resumes. Let's talk. Let me guys talk on your level right now. Let me talk that resume talk. Right. So this is Lamont Roach's resume. He's 21-1, not knockouts. We know that he was a former world title challenger. His only loss being to Jermall Charlo. He was the guy that Jermall Charlo made his first world title defense against back in 2019. Now, since that loss to Herring in 2019, Lamont Roach has had a good run of form. Now, this win right here, I want to highlight this win right here. This is an impressive win right here. So in 2020, he actually got a stoppage against Neil John Tabenow. Now, Tabenow is coming out of 3 losses in a row. I get all that, but Tabenow fought somebody that I know to be a very good fighter. Fought a guy named Angel Leo. Angel Leo did not stop Neil John Tabenow. Lamont Roach stopped Neil John Tabenow in 3 rounds. Now, granted, they fought at a higher weight class, so I don't think it was Tabenow's natural weight. But still, to get a durable veteran fighter out like that in 3 rounds, I think it's a good win. Then, in 2021, on the Zoto Ramirez Uniesca Gonzalez card, I actually saw this fight. He fought Rene Alvarado in a fight that, again, Alvarado was coming off some losses. I know he was 32-10 at the time he fought him, but Alvarado, a lot of people that week were picking him for some reason because they didn't think much of Lamont Roach. So I feel like he's had a good run of form to get back to this point. I'm just glad I'm glad this fight's happening. You want to know why I'm glad, Alex?
Right.
This is why I'm glad the fight's happening. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. I gotta go to the rankings. All right. I'm gonna show you guys once and for all why I'm excited about Lamont Roach versus this fight happening. And he knows why. He knows where I'm going with this. Now, Hector can win. That's cool. Lamont can win. That's cool. But I'm just glad they're getting this out the way because whoever wins this fight needs to fight this man right here, the number 2 contender. My main man, 50 grand, Otar the Pitbull Arenosian, the real Pitbull, not that Eastside Cruz bullshit. The real Pitbull, Otar Arenosian is who they need to fight. And if you guys don't know who Otar Arenosian is, he is currently the number 2 WBA ranked contender. This guy, been one of the hardest working fighters in boxing since he turned pro. He turned pro in 2020 during the pandemic. 14 fights in 3 years. Do the math. He's paid his dues to get to this point. Now look at his resume. His last fight, he stopped the former world champion in 8 rounds. I watched the fight against Roger Gutierrez. Gutierrez was dangerous, hurt him early on. Otar came back. This guy, to me, look, this guy right here. And if you guys don't know who this is, I'm giving you guys a fighter. Maybe boxing doesn't do a good job of promoting because he doesn't got a big promoter yet. But this guy right here is one of the most exciting fighters in boxing.
He is. I watched the Starling Castillo fight.
He talks a lot of shit. He's got a lot of energy. He wears that Caucus Khabib wig from his country of Georgia. He's just a really entertaining guy. And I think, it'd be an addition to the 130 division if we can get the winner of this fight to fight him. But that's just me. I'm going to talk. If you guys want to accuse me of being a fanboy of somebody, I'm a fanboy of him. I'm a fanboy. I love Otar Arenosian. That's one of my favorite fighters in boxing to watch. When I see that he gets a fight coming up, my whole week improves. My whole day improves, But as far as this matchup, because I pretty much talked about Otar Arenosian, good fight. Lamont Roach, this is a chance for him to become world champion. I think he has improved a little bit since the Jermall Charlo fight, but I think he's in with a guy with Hector Garcia, who I think is a versatile fighter. Hector's shown that he can come forward against Chris Colbert and push
That's
you on your back
all you
foot.
need to say right there, bro.
But even apart from that, when he won the title. What did he beat? I can't remember.
Roger Gutierrez.
That's right, Roger Gutierrez.
That's right. Yeah.
When
he was the champion.
When he was the champion.
Yeah.
You see what? Anyway, Hector beat Roger Gutierrez. So I've seen Hector be the boxer. I've seen him be the slugger. I think he's the more versatile fighter. I think he's got more gears, and he fought tanks. That obviously, even though he lost, that adds to his experience level. Good fight, good 135. 130. When this is like, maybe you could say this probably Jose Benavidez versus Charlo is the worst fight on the card in the ring because of the weight discrepancy and all the bullshit behind it. Yeah. But when this is your second out of the main card, when this is like the second to worst fight on the card is a world title fight, and it's still a somewhat well matched fight. You got a good card on your hands. So
exactly, bro.
That's what it is, man. Those are my thoughts on the card. What y'all think? We got, let me see. Got any more comments? Now Aaron knows. See, David knows. Ergashev is going to the hospital tomorrow. He could be. Listen, he's fighting Subriel Matias. That's always when you fight that guy. That's always a possibility. You know,
man. Jesus, man.
Is Andre going to the hospital? Because David Benavidez is always going. What's gonna happen if listen? What's gonna happen if Andre knocks out Benavidez? How are y'all gonna feel?
Oh man.
How are y'all gonna feel?
Man, I'm gonna feel just like how I felt at Crawford, man. It finally came.
It happened.
It finally happened. You know. Fuck all.
Probably not gonna happen, but it can happen. Boxing, you never know. Andre's not pillow fisted. This isn't Paulie Malignaggi or something like that. This is a man who got thump in his hands.
No, that's right. To be honest, and one thing about Andrade, he could have had more knockouts than what he has, but he just likes to sometimes
he puts it in cruise control.
Yeah.
And listen, he can't put it on cruise control for this fight, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But listen, if you guys don't take nothing from this live, if y'all don't take nothing from this live, I don't care if you like Andre, I don't care if you like Benavidez. I want you guys to take this with you. Take this with you.
They want to call themselves the greatest, they're proven. Why did he want to unify? He said he wanted to unify the middleweight belt until he got stripped. Devin Haney fought Danny fought for his belt. He got stripped because he didn't end up fighting Devin Haney. And okay, well, you got to stop. You could, so you had 2 belts, so you could come get our belt. That was one more belt you got, and 1 belt less that you needed. So why don't you come after our belt?
Because he's boring.
I don't know.
That's what he said.
That's what it is.
That's what he says.
So why does he fight these other guys? They're not boring?
I don't think they're. I think they're boring.
Well,
I thought Canelo.
Then he wasn't man enough to unify the 160 division.
That's what I think too.
He's not man enough. And if you want to unify the 168, sign a contract, we'll go to 68, take somebody's belt, then we'll get him.
So there you have it. I want to see it, man.
And that's what they're trying to do. So, that's what it is. Shout out to Paul Andre. Shout out to David Benavidez. Shout out to Jose Benavidez Sr. Shout out to both families. I want to say this too, my last parting shot, because I do got to go to sleep soon. I got to be up early tomorrow. But, I ran my mouth a lot about Benavidez these last, couple years. But I want to give him his respect. I'm going to give him the ultimate respect because a lot of guys over the years have not wanted to fight Demetrius Andrade. And I don't care if he loses. I don't care if he wins. He gets my respect just for getting in the ring with them. So, respect to him, respect to Jose for being a man of his word. And apparently, Dundada says that Terrence Crawford said on Boxing Scene that Benavidez hasn't done nothing to challenge Canelo. Listen, man, Terrence Crawford's been saying a bunch of bullshit. If he said that, just add it to the laundry list of bullshit he's been spewing since he beat Errol Spence. Now he kind of feels like he's the biggest thing since sliced bread, and he kind of feels like everyone can go kiss his ass. And listen, I'm sure to a point he's got a way to feel that way, but for him to say that is ridiculous. He just beat Caleb Plant. He's fighting one of the most skilled fighters in the sport in David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. If he beats Andrade, I don't want to hear nothing. I mean, honestly, and I want Andrade to win. I'm going for Andrade to win, but I'm just saying you got to respect him listen, if he beats Plant and Andrade, there is a legitimate case to be made. Benavidez might be in the run for fighter of the year. I feel because you can't really get much higher level apart from Canelo himself, who has all the belts. You can't get much higher level than Plant and Andrade in the same year.
No, facts, honestly.
So we'll see. But nonetheless, he said, sorry, ESPN, and he said it in the context of Andre versus Benavidez. I still don't get what. Now I'm confused. Now I don't know what you're talking about. And right now it's almost 12:30, in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning. I ain't got time to do the math and figure it out. So listen, on that note, guys, we appreciate you guys for being here. Just wanted to come in here and shoot the shit and just talk some boxing with you and give our last thoughts. For the Andre Benavidez card tomorrow. Program reminder one last time. Tomorrow morning, or tomorrow night, I should say, later on today, Eastern time zone, we will be live. Me, Alex, and of course, Pops will all be live together for the big fight, the big momentous occasion as David Benavidez looks to get another signature win in his career and Demetrius Andrade gets the opportunity that's been eluding him for so long in a big fight against a big challenge. Guy like David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. So, listen, you guys don't make no plans. Make sure you join us tomorrow for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dundada is saying that they're counting out Andrade. Okay, so okay, well, good. They were counting out Mark Two-Shot Johnson when he beat Fernando Montiel. So this in my opinion, I think this is going to be that fight over again. But we'll see how it goes. But listen, you guys take care. Continue to support the channel, the content. It's been a great, finish to the month, and I'm looking forward to a great finish towards the year. Check out all the content, all the videos. There's no shortage of them. And there'll be much more on the way. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one. But on that note, guys, you take care, sleep well, be safe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Peace out. Ooh, can't wait for